Hello, my name is Caitlin Bagger, and this is my video discussion 1.1 for social and cultural diversity and counseling with Dr. Moon. I will start off with showing a artifact or something that has great significance to my family. So, in the comments, there will be a picture of a house. And this house has great significance to my family because I had my great uncle. He joined the army, and he he went and he sent all of his money home, so my great grandparents would have a better place to live. And so give a little bit of background. Um, my great grandparents came to the United States in 1912. They came from Czechoslovakia. So this was pre split from this was before Czechoslovakia split into two countries, Slovakia and Czech Republic. My family came from the Slovakia side. So my great grandparents came to the United States. And when they got located, like when they came to the United States, they were placed in Banning, Pennsylvania. This was a place where there was coal mines, and so my great grandparents lived in a company house, and there is there is some history to that as well, where the coal mining companies owned everything. They owned the store. Basically owned towns. But that's not really part of the thing that I had here. But I wanted to say my great uncle was the only son of my great grandparents, and they had 6 children. So when they lived in that company home, they they were very cramped in there. Having 7 people live in that home, it was not very. It was not uh, a nice place. Well, it was a decent place to live, but it was um it was hard for them because when, like, with the coal mining towns and whatnot, they you didn't earn actual money. You earned like company dollars. So like they would keep people in perpetual poverty. Um, but my great uncle, his name was Andy, Uncle Andy, we call him. He but Something to discuss is that my family had my grandmother and her siblings. They had like you know a he had experienced assimilation. So even though we call him Uncle Andy, that was not his name when he was when he was, like his name given to him by my great grandparents. Um, the name that was given to him was Anhe, like a Slovak version of Andre. So, and with that, my grandmother's name was Mildred, and and but her name given to her by her parents was Milka. So, um, definitely have some assimilation there, and assimilation is when you kind of adopt cultural norms from like your receiving country. That is on page 54 of the textbook. My great grandparents, they didn't assimilate as my great grandparents didn't assimilate as much as their children. My grandmother was a stay at home mother. Grandfather worked in coal mines, and I found a study that talked about how assimilation can be correlated with job satisfaction, um, and how you know when you work in the coal mines and you're not really around too many other people, as a stay-at-home mom to 6 children, you probably don't have a lot of job satisfaction. But I digress. So my uncle, Andy, he went into the army, and this was before the Air Force had been established. So he was in the Army Air Corps. He was an airplane mechanic, and he was in the 381st Bomb Group in Sussex, England. And this was right after World War II, or towards the end of the war, and they were on their way home, and my uncle Andy was in a plane crash. And they died on the Isle of Man, which is an island, owned by under British rule. He died April 21st, 1945, and um, every person who was on that plane died. Um, so the most significant part of that home, that picture of that house, is that he he sent all of his money back home to help his parents, take care of the other children in the house. And he died. He died before he ever got a chance to live in that home. And you know, uh it's it's something that, you know, it was a very hard time for my grandma, and my great grandparents, and they never forgot his sacrifice. And even now, 3 generations, or actually three three generations later, that story was passed down from from my grandma to my mom to me, and it's even something that I have passed down to my children. And it's important to me, it's important to remember where you come from. And it's you know uh yeah. Next part, I guess. address how a client might respond to my artifact. I think if clients saw a picture of the house on the bookshelf, I don't think they would know why I have a picture of a house on a bookshelf or, at my desk. But, you know, it might encourage somebody to ask about how it relates to me or why I might choose to put that photo in an office. But I think honestly that it, like, thinking about it, I don't think I would want to put a picture of the house in my office because it's a quite personal story, and I'm that's not something I would probably be willing to self-disclose to clients. Uh, and I have the house is still owned by my family. Not that they would know where the house is, because it's actually on in the Appalachian Mountains. So like nobody, but it might be a little too personal. Um, and then address how this artifact has shaped who you are, becoming a professional counselor. When I think about this house and how it shaped my life, I think about how my great uncle took care of my great grandparents and my grandmother. And if he hadn't sent this money home so they could afford this house, um, you know, I I might not even be here today. Who knows if my grandma or grandpa would have ever met. And also I could have, the coal mines and whatnot, the houses, they put people in project like perpetual poverty. And so if they could have never got out of poverty, like, when those companies closed, it could have left my great grandparents homeless, because those companies didn't stay around for long. Um, and who knows if I would even be here today. But when I and so I think about you know, how my great uncle buying this house, has basically allowed me to exist today, and even to the point where it has given me opportunities so I could go to grad school and become a counselor. Because, you know, um, I'm going to be, has helped me, further my education. Because I might not even be here if he hadn't done it. So, all right, thank you so much. Um, have a lovely day. Bye.